Hi there, namaste, and welcome back to another spiritualistic pick a card reading. Today I'm channeling a message to you from your solar plexus. So please take a deep breath, drawing the energy up your spine, creating a clear and open channel. And as you exhale, allow yourself to come into clear knowing which group or groups has your message in it for you today. We have group number 1 on the left with intellectual air, group number 2 in the center with difference in vibration, and group number 3 on the right with lotus feet. If you would like to meditate with me, that will be the first link in the description box below. If you would like to take a look at my spiritual store or book a one-on-one session with me, that will be in the middle of the description box below. And the timestamps to your readings are listed below, all the way at the end of the description box. As always, I love you and I'm grateful for you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and you can find me at Spiritualistik, of course, here on YouTube, on Patreon, Instagram, TikTok, and Etsy. So, I love you, I'm grateful for you, and I'll see you over at your reading. Namaste. Hi there, group 1. Namaste, and welcome to your reading. Today I'm channeling a message to you from your solar plexus chakra, and you selected the first group with the intellectual air card. Group number 1, you have no problem understanding and knowing your worth. Now, when it comes to your willpower, you are well aware of what you can do. You're very well aware of your competence. You're well aware of your strengths. In fact, it's something that has also been intellectualized by you, which is a positive thing. One thing I'm getting, however, is that another aspect here, you might be very smart, very intellectual, or you could just be more of an introspective person, air heavy, if you will. There's a lot of this intellectualization energy. You are very well aware of your confidence. You're very well aware of your sense of self. You're very well aware of your capabilities. You're very well aware of who you are, your worth, solar plexus matters, among other things. There's a message here from your solar plexus as well that is indicating that you also intellectualize other aspects of your life. One of which might be what seems to be socially acceptable for your worth to be placed at, as opposed to where it truly is. What might be socially acceptable for you to express yourself as when it comes to your capabilities, when it comes to your strengths, when it comes to your skills, or even the awareness you have of those gifts and skills. Now, depending on who you are in this world or who you see yourself as in this world, you might find that where you are, let's say, expected to be, is not where you genuinely are. Now, that's a good thing. It might be something like, say that you are very, very pretty, or say that you are for example, if you are really, really pretty, people might not like it if you are aware of that. If you're really, really smart, people might not like it if you are aware of that, or if you act like that. It might trigger other things. On the flip side of things, you might belong to a marginalized group of society. And this, unfortunately, might have some preconceived notions to people around you or just society in general. There's this vibe of your solar plexus understanding that you are very intelligent. You're very intelligent. You are very literate. You are also very wise. Now, intellectual is not the same as wise. They can go hand in hand, but not all of the time. I'm getting that you're book smart. You're also street smart. You're very kind. You're also aware of your strengths because you are the one who grew them there. You decided, I would like to perhaps gain more knowledge, and so you decided to start studying. You said, I would like to have perhaps a better body, and so you started going to the gym. Perhaps I would like to be a better person, so maybe you started going to therapy, doing personal growth work, shadow work, meditating, etc. You are well aware that maybe there is a truth to all of us are perfect, everything is perfect all the time. If nothing is perfect ever. If everything is imperfect, on the flip, everything is perfect because it's duality there. They have to even out. But when you look at this, there is this awareness of, instead of leaning towards your strengths, you have intellectualized something about you shrinking yourself and that being what is expected of you, or that being what is normal, or that being what is appropriate of you in some way, shape, or form. However, this is not a reflection of your solar plexus because you know already. You have the confidence. You know what your strengths are. You're very well aware. But this also brings a little bit of this gap here that is being asked to be bridged by your solar plexus between what it is that you know that you are, what it is that you know you can do, who it is that you know you've already become, versus the version of you that perhaps intellectually you perceive as being more digestible for the world around you. Now, this isn't giving people pleasing. It's not coming from an emotional space. It's giving more of a rationality. You might have such a high IQ that you kind of need to almost bend over backwards a little bit just to perceive the way that others perceive things. You could, on the other side of things, have something like ADHD, ADD, autism, or something like this that could also make it that you just see things a little bit more literally. Now, it doesn't need to be any of those options, and it could, of course, be several of those options, but it's less about that. It's more about the fact that you are aware of your strengths. Your solar plexus here, it is happy, it is healthy, it is thriving. And you're also aware of this. There's a little bit of a gap in your internal world here about who you genuinely are when you have a dialogue with yourself. And if you look at the facts, you know that you're capable of something, you've done it before, and you can do it again, and it's just a fact. At the same time, if you genuinely wear that externally without putting on a mask, but you perhaps just don't mention it, or you perhaps just really admire others' traits that maybe are adjacent to that, or you change the subject. This is something that you have been trained to do in some way, or it's something that you have observed oftentimes goes better for you. And so this is something you have intellectualized. It's kind of giving in an adjacent energy, since this is the solar plexus vibe. I'm sure a lot of you are understanding exactly what I'm putting down here. But if you think of this as, instead of feeling your emotions or wearing your emotions, intellectualizing your emotions, right? Some people wear their emotions on their sleeve. Some people, they have outbursts of them whenever they show up. Other people, they shove them down, just swallow, push, 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 push. Some people, they distract from them, right? And some people, they intellectualize them. They say, okay, I am observing that I'm having this feeling, and so I wish to have this feeling, or I wish not to have this feeling. Since I wish not to have this feeling, how should I go about processing this? Let me pull out my journal. And there's a little bit of this, I don't want to say problem solver energy, but there's a little bit of this, okay, like pattern recognizer. So where does this fit? Where does this go? Where is this appropriate for it to go? Because you are aware that your solar plexus, it being happy and healthy, it's almost this investigative work of the world around you. And understanding that the depth of your power, well, you don't want to give it away, but also you don't want to get yourself in uncomfortable power dynamics either. You want to make sure that, because to you it's not a thing of power, maybe being empowered, maybe personal power, sure, but not with the world around you. Understanding that the way that you navigate the world is not a power challenge to those around you just because you're being yourself. And also, wearing that power could, hypothetically, make you vulnerable to others trying to disempower you, right? And then needing to call back your power. This might also be as a result, maybe you have learned as a result from needing to call back your power so many times from so many things that have disempowered you as soon as you start to shine. Now, this does not make you question whether or not you can shine. You know it, because you might have a lot of vultures around you who are kind of going, shiny, look at that, yummy. However, with that, you might have learned, again, intellectually a little bit, well, maybe if I use certain words instead of others, maybe if I say what I mean, but in a way that they can understand and maybe doesn't trigger them. It's not emotional people-pleasing. You're not trying to make others happy or trying to make them comfortable. You are trying to almost self-preserve because you know you have that power. So let's get into the tarot. Interesting message here, group number 1. I love it. We've got a powerhouse here, okay? This might look like trying to find your place in the world, yeah, with the 5 of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, and the Death. Okay. Phoenix rising from the ashes. The symbolism on this death card specifically of transformation is really standing out here. So we've definitely got a Phoenix rising from the ashes energy for you. Of course, it is depicted on the death card, but you can also find other things like the Grim Reaper. You can imagine a flower. You can imagine a butterfly. You can imagine a lot of different symbols for transformation, but specifically not just because of the deck, but the imagery of the Phoenix is coming through for you individually very strongly, group number 1. So individually as a group. Let's say that someone was like, individually, this is a collective reading. You're right? But for this energy, Phoenix. Okay. There seems to be something here about you, you wanting to express your confidence, your potential, not potential, but your power. It's not something that could be, it's something that is and has been. Okay. But there's a little bit of this, investigative energy to you where you want to release it, but you want to make sure that it's always in an appropriate setting. Similarly, you are growing and transforming because it's how you got to where you are and how you continue to move about the world. And you understand that there is no use in dipping your toe into a pool if the question isn't the temperature. The question is whether or not you can swim. And you are well aware that you can swim. In fact, some of you are an Olympian swimmer. Also, there is no use in waiting for the green light from Spirit because you were born as who you are. That is the green light from Spirit. So there's a little bit of this, I want to say like quasi-hesitation energy here that you're transforming out of. And your solar plexus wants you to try to get a little bit more comfortable in that. You might find that you're being encouraged to be a little sharper with your words. You might you might find that you are encouraged to move a little bit faster just in your, just in general, a little bit more like, no, I can do more. I was just kind of doing what is, normal or socially acceptable or kind of what is expected of me or what is, it's not giving bare minimum. It's giving, if I shine too much, I don't want to outshine XYZ, right? It's giving, I don't want to wear, have you ever been to a wedding? Okay, interesting. So there are two vibes that I'm getting here. One is, say that you go to a wedding and say that you're just naturally a beautiful person or you hit the gym or whatever it is, right? But you don't want to upstage the bride, right? So maybe you don't do your makeup, or alternatively, maybe the bride tells the makeup artist, make sure that they don't end up prettier than me, okay? Well, that can go however it's gonna go, okay? We can maybe understand both sides of the equation, right? Like, it's their day. They deserve to be the prettiest one and the prettiest girl at the ball. Everyone deserves that a day in their life, right? However, the vibe of not being true to yourself, like you're not going to go get a bunch of sunburn on your face and then show up to the wedding and then have your face all peeling just to make her feel better, right? You're not going to go be a lizard because because it makes somebody else feel better. Now, there's a little bit of this vibe here where that's almost expected of you. And so you might be showing up like just, maybe you're not doing the whole drastic people pleaser thing, but maybe you are showing up and you're like, okay, I have learned that I get better responses when I don't shine all the way. So maybe you show up enough to fit the bill, fit the job description, but not so much that it makes others uncomfortable. Even though if you did, you would really be putting yourself in a position of power. And that might be exactly the thing that is triggering. So you're transitioning into this, you're transforming into the version of you that has already claimed this, because in your internal world you have, and it's there for you. Now your solar plexus also has one more example here, and I'm hearing this, it's actually a really old song from Bo Burnham that I totally forgot about, and I saw it on social media the other day. And it goes along the lines of, have you ever been at a birthday party for children and one of the children won't stop screaming because he's a little attention attractor and he'll grow up to be a comic or actor and he'll be applauded for never learning, he'll be applauded for never maturing, for never understanding or learning that everything isn't about them. There are other people, you stupid a-hole. that is what I'm hearing. And there's a little bit of this vibe where you might be surrounded by people like that, but low key, you might be very gifted, very talented. And so you're like, well, I don't want to step in the same room as a bomb. Or if it's the hypothetically, okay, if it's I'm going to say group 4, because we only have 3 groups in this reading. If it's the group number 4 show, right? Like, I'm not going to show up ready to perform, or I'm not going to show up and give my all. It's the group number 4 show, and they deserve their show. They deserve their day. That is cool. That is great. But that doesn't mean that you don't get yours, right? But it also doesn't mean that you need to sit in the wings and wait until group number 4 is done being ridiculous, okay? So there's this vibe like this. Your solar plexus wants you to be aware of the fact that you know, I'm hearing damn well, you know damn well, your foundation. You know damn well the steps to take. You know damn well who you are inside and out, what you're capable of, what is meant for you, and you know damn well that you can outshine any of these other people any day of the week. And that's exactly why you show up to the function in baggy clothes when all your friends are going out clubbing wearing their mini dresses. That is exactly why you don't wear makeup when everyone else around you is really insecure of their face or their body. That is exactly why maybe you haven't been hitting the gym or you haven't been meditating, because you know that you have a higher level of consciousness, or you can bench 10 times the amount of, or whatever it is. It's not giving necessarily self-sabotage, but it is giving waiting in the wings to see if there's a spot for you at open mic night. And group number 1, your solar plexus wants you to know, babe, you're a headliner. Headliner. And you know it too. And so the intellectualization of your moves, in order to make sure that it's very much giving like 11th house energy a smidge, because, or like Aquarius energy. Now this is one of the defining traits of the 11th house that I don't ever hear talked about very often. It's about the like correlated to the humanitarian aspect, but it is the part where you want to make sure that what you do is good for everyone in the room. It's almost like quasi Libra energy, but it's not. Because it's not calculated, it's not manipulative, it's not neutral. It is biased towards the fact that everyone gets as close to what it is that they want in this world and this life as possible. And so it's allowing everyone to have their moments. Even if it means putting yourself to the side. Even if it means putting your hand out, making sure that one super crazy narcissist or whatever isn't getting out, because that one person who's too shy to claim their turn, they deserve a spot on the stage too. You are that person who, in a conversation, when someone is being overlooked or people are talking over them, you will go, oh, wait, so-and-so was talking. What were you saying? I'm really interested in that topic. You are the person who befriends maybe the underdog. You are the person who makes sure that everything is copacetic. You are the leader. But you are coming out of the shadows. Because you're no longer intellectualizing, or you're transforming out of intellectualizing. What step is most acceptable and appropriate for you to make based upon your surroundings, based upon your environment? It's not about making everybody else happy, but it's kind of, let's say you serve other people. You have all your friends over for dinner, and like a good host, you serve everybody else first, and you have the last serving. You're making sure that there's enough for you, but maybe by the time you sit down to eat, your food's a little cold. Or maybe your favorite part is the corner, and you didn't get the corner piece because somebody else had it, because there are only 4, and you're holding a party, you're the host, but you're the one that did all the work. You're the reason why everyone's there. You're the reason that everyone's eating. And so there's the knowing in your solar plexus. Of course, you know that you can cook. You know you can cook delicious food. You know that you have a lot of friends. You know that people value your company. You know that people come over and they trust the food that you cook, and they're going to hang out, they're going to have a good day, so on and so forth. But you might intellectualize, oh, it is right and it is just for me to serve myself last. It is right and it is just for me not to have some of that sparkling grape juice because it ran out and everybody who wanted it got it, so it makes sense that there's none left over for me, and it's fine, I'm the host. It makes sense for me to be the only one cleaning up after 20 people after they all leave because I invited everyone over and it's my house. Right? You can intellectualize it. Now, there's an unseen power dynamic there because you're the only one who ever hosts the group at your house. You're the only one who ever cooks from scratch. You're the only one who can understand everybody's or cares about everybody's food allergies, food sensitivities, special diets. where to seat everybody so that they are in a nice copacetic energy. Your solar plexus wants you to stop playing small because you know that you're not. When you feel this energy crashing through, I'm hearing opening the floodgates, let it flow. Because there is so much to you that is seen. And because it's seen, everyone else is making sure that they're having time on the stage. Because no one wants to go right before, or especially right after, the winning act. Group number 1. That is your channeled message from your solar plexus. If you would like to meditate with me, that is the first link in the description box. If you would like a personal with me, you can find those on my spiritual shop. It's on Etsy. My handle is Spiritualistik there, just like it is here, Patreon, Instagram, TikTok. Go ahead and please follow me, subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me across platforms. You can find personals, as I said, on my spiritual store. I've made tarot and oracle decks. I've published a few books. There are journals prompted. So the guided self-exploration journal has over 200 guided journal prompts. It's great for shadow work season. That's exactly why I made it. It's what it's there for. Dream journals, intention journals, manifestation journals. I hand wrap crystals and I charge them and I tune them to 528 hertz. I also infuse them with Reiki. And each one I channel the design for individually. So each one is one of a kind. I also have intention candles and other spiritual tools. I've got meditation cushions to go along with the meditation collection if you're interested in that. And much more like this. So I hope you have an amazing day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful magical realm. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Please. It's like giving me a big hug. And I love you and I'm grateful for you. You can check out another pile or another reading, and I'll see you next time. Namaste. Hi there, group 2. Namaste and welcome to your reading. Today I'm channeling a message to you from your solar plexus, and you selected the second group with the difference in vibration card. Group number 2, the first thing that I'm getting here is that the solar plexus is actually the ruler of your stomach. And what I'm getting here is the difference between like digestive energy and fire energy. Now you might be interested in digestive fire, but looking at balancing out the fire, your digestion, your stomach, I'm kind of getting that this is a little bit of maybe a metabolic energy that wants to come through for you from your solar plexus. With the difference in vibration card, there is something that is shifting and changing and you're heading in the right direction, but there's something about having a plan or a structure that will make you feel more confident, and it will also help you to metabolize better. Now, this doesn't just need to be literal metabolizing food. It can also be being able to digest, being able to metabolize maybe the things that life throws at you as well. If you have little emotional hiccups, or one day you're a little sleepier, or one day you're really excited. So something about having a plan that is achievable and sticking to it is going to be something that helps you with, of course, your confidence. It also helps you head in the right direction, which you're already doing, but it kind of helps you have more of a difference in vibration in the way that you approach it. It's a little bit more of an act of self-love here. So you're being encouraged to do something along the lines of take a day, and if you like to meal prep. Take a day and organize the week ahead if that's something that you like to do. One thing that I like to do sometimes, or I know other people do as well, is they'll pick a designated day of the week as their like get their stuff together day. So Sunday is the day that you're doing your laundry, you're cleaning your house, you're organizing the week ahead, and then you spend the afternoon hanging out, relaxing. Something like this. Okay, so to help you kind of metabolize life a little bit, and also perhaps your food. This might be like, I'm hearing that thing where you wake up, you go outside for 30 minutes, you get 30 minutes of exercise, and you have 30 grams of protein, like right out the gate. You don't have to do that if that's not what resonates with you and feels good on your body, but you are being encouraged to have some sort of a plan. I'm also hearing 75 hard. Some of you might be interested in doing something like that, and this might be your sign that your solar plexus is saying you can do it, and it will help you increase your confidence, okay? So let's get into the tarot and see what message your solar plexus has for you today, group number 2. Okay, 3 of Pentacles. I'm hearing it's a team effort, or it's a group effort, okay? There seems to be some sort of a shared resource or something that you're doing that others have done as well, or others do, and there's something here where you have assistance for it, okay? It might be following my guided meditations. It might be following an online exercise class. It might be finding a teacher or a guide or even just someone on social media who does the things that you want to do, right? Take 75 Hard, for example. See the way that they do it and their process. So you can understand, maybe learn from their mistakes if they share what that feels like, or to prepare mentally or emotionally. Or sometimes when I really want to organize and redo the feng shui in my house, and I want to reorganize and I want to clean everything and organize and I'm really not feeling up to it, I will watch videos of a ton of people doing it. I like to watch the home edit and stuff like that, and then I'll get really excited and I'll watch it and I'll be like, wow, that's so cool. I can color coordinate everything and I can organize everything, and it brings more passion into the situation. So there's a vibe like this of using your media resources wisely for this, okay? There is also a message here. Your solar plexus wants you to know that I'm getting your glory days are not over. Okay? There's something here that is ready to come to the light. In fact, it's going to kind of blow up kind of soon. It's something that you need to know, and your solar plexus wants you to be ready. It's something like if you have the spotlight put on you unexpectedly, you might want it to be when you're in the middle of a 75 Hard, or right after you ran that marathon you've been training for, as opposed to when you're kind of in the space of you're heading in the right direction, but you're not organized. You don't have room for something else on your plate, or you don't feel comfortable having a ton of eyes on you. It's something like this, okay? So whether this is regulating your sleep schedule a little bit more, whether it is scheduling the times that you eat or the times that you do certain activities. I'm not getting that you need to time block to the minute, but certainly having some sort of a schedule will really, really help. And the thing is, it might take a couple of days to get used to it. Okay, I'm getting 3 days. 3 days is the amount of time that it takes for you to maybe detox off of caffeine, for example, if you're drinking too much coffee and you want to stop, or caffeinated anything, okay? So it might be something like this where you're being encouraged to take 3 days to a week, depending on what it is, and kind of maybe get over a hump, start practicing a new kind of routine or system. Take time to establish that, okay? I'm definitely getting that you have eyes on you right now. You're being watched and you know it. And so there are two kind of groups of energy here. Some might mesh together depending on who you are. Some of you have a lot of eyes on you and you can feel it. And because you can feel it, your energy is a little more, I don't want to say scattered, but it might be a little bit more, you also have this person in your energy field, so you're also feeling them. You have a lot of eyes on you, so you might feel a little more pressure, or you might feel a little sleepy, or you might feel a little heavier, and it might not necessarily be a bad thing. You might not be feeling poorly, but when you have a lot going on in your energy field, when you have a lot of people paying attention to you, sometimes you can still focus on yourself and show up and cleanse your energy and all that stuff, but it does require a little bit of an extra effort or more awareness in where you're directing your energy, or how you are managing that, or the strength in order to grow where you can have those eyes on you and then it not affect you at all whatsoever. Vibes like this. It can also be that there are a lot of people physically watching you, and so there's a vibe of maybe fidgeting with your clothes, making sure that everything's fitting you right. Maybe you're sucking in your stomach, or you're puffing out your chest, got your chin up, making sure that your hair is done, whatever it is. Okay, there's a vibe like this as well. So your solar plexus is kind of saying there's a reason for this energy right now, but this is going to become normal. So you're being encouraged to find some sort of a routine that works for you, that is stable for the future, because something's going to pop off pretty soon for you. And right now is this energy where I'm getting, there's an eclipsing energy, but it feels a little bit more like when there's an eclipse and you get kind of sleepy, or when the energy is really heavy, or when there's so much going on in your energy field that it kind of just restarts you like a computer, because you're more introspected, more introverted in those phases of your energetic journey. So it's kind of giving something like this. So your solar plexus wants you to be aware of the fact that you're being encouraged to create a system where you can better metabolize life. Okay, so for some of you, it's waking up and it's journaling. For some of you, it's waking up and it's meditating. For some of you, it's scheduling your day. For some of you, it's meal prepping. For some of you, it's having an exercise routine that's attainable. Maybe it's 15 minutes a day. You do the same video every single morning, something that you can stick to, something that's realistic. And for others of you, you're already on some sort of a routine, but you feel that you've outgrown it and you're transforming and you're ready for the next level, and you've got a lot of eyes on you and you are feeling that new fresh energy that you're ready to step into. And that, for those of you who that energy resonates with, you're being encouraged to kind of put the pedal to the metal on something as much as you can, whether it be doing something like a 75 hard, doing something like a meditation retreat, doing something like training for a marathon, or signing up for that marathon, or something like this, okay? Your solar plexus wants you to know that you've got the foundation that you need, but for some reason it is kind of, right now it's kind of being kept under wraps. And the reason for this is because your energy or what you have to offer or whatever this is, it is special and it deserves to be kind of treated as such as well. It doesn't just deserve to be, you're not one runner in the marathon, you are the runner in the marathon that the spotlight is on. You are not one person who does 75 hard, you are one person who does 75 hard, and because you share your story, it's more relatable to others and it inspires more people to do it, and then you end up being some sort of a figure that people look up to. It's something like your energy specifically applied to something is what's going to be successful for you, and so the difference in vibration you're being encouraged to take is understand that your time on this earth is very precious. Understand that your energy throwing through your body deserves to be utilized very, very precisely and in almost like a planned and organized way. And your solar plexus also wants you to know that when you receive validation, take it personally. When you receive positive validation, take it personally. Okay, this might be very much counteractive to something that you've learned or something that you do or something that you've recently read, okay? When you receive positive validation, do take it personally, because your solar plexus wants you to continue to be aware of the fact that you can show up. You are doing a great job and you can give yourself that validation and you can receive that validation, okay? It's not about letting your head get super big and being super self-important. It's about understanding that what you do matters. Who you are matters. What you have to offer matters. More so than you've been taught, or more so than the world's showing you, or more so than you feel. It's like you've already been acing all the tests. It's like you're an A+++ student across the board. You always have been, always will be, but you're one of a million of those. So when the Nobel Prize arrives, that's not going to all the other A++ students. That's going to you. So that's a very dramatic example, but there's something here with the eyes on you. You're feeling the energy, and that energy might turn to pressure for some of you. For some of you, there are eyes on you and you know it. So you might be looking at like, oh my God, am I like, where's my waist? Like, how am I feeling? Like, do I feel confident in my body? Am I muscular, or am I skinny, or am I curvy, or whatever it is that makes you feel good in your body? Like, it's giving just not self-consciousness, but like hyper self-awareness a little bit. Okay, so a little bit of this vibe, okay, because you know, and there's a reason why you know. Right now, what you do with this energy that is kind of coming from, let's say, beyond the veil forward into your life is going to be your new foundation that you stand on. And that's why right now you're being encouraged to kind of push a little harder or do a little more, but not so much that it's kind of without direction. It's scheduled, it's organized, it's planned, so that you know what to expect of yourself. And as you know, when you expect something of yourself, you can show up and attain it. And that's why we're making our goals attainable. It's more so having a plan to action. So, your solar plexus wants you to understand as well that something is going to be arriving in your life that has kind of been withheld from you for a very long period of time. And what it does, your challenge here, okay, is to accept this positive validation, accept the reward, accept the results positively and gracefully, okay? Because I'm being shown an example here. Let's use relationships, because this isn't a very relatable, unfortunately, and understandable example. Say that you are begging for breadcrumbs from someone, for the bare minimum from somebody. God forbid, right? But hypothetically, let's say that's the situation. You're out there begging for the bare minimum, and then you stop begging, but you still require the bare minimum, but it's still not arriving. And so at a certain point, when you receive the bare minimum, and oh God, God forbid some flowers, right? Or something like this, when you receive something like this, you might not be like, oh my God, yay, I'm so happy to have flowers, because you're not desperate for it. But at the same time, you're not, you're like, okay, so that should have been here a long time ago. I'm not impressed by this, okay? There's a little bit of that vibe, because you're not like, oh my God, flowers, it's so amazing, it's the best thing in the whole wide world. It's not like, you're begging for crumbs and then you receive a crumb and you're like, oh my God, yay, I'm so lucky. You're like, no, this is a crumb. this is a crumb and that doesn't work. I'm not impressed by crumbs, right? So when something arrives and it's a whole bite of bread, okay? Say that it's a nice bite, right? You might be like, oh, okay. Yeah, that should be there, right? And so your solar plexus is saying to you to receive the external validation or whatever this is that's arriving in your life. Receive it. I'm getting almost like I'm getting pause, like 3, 2, 1 before you speak kind of vibe. Like, I'm also getting that you might feel a little bored by it because it's not necessarily like anything that makes you ecstatic. You're like, yeah, okay, like, you gave me more of the breadcrumbs. Like, I'm not going to applaud you for it. So you're being encouraged to be graceful with whatever this is. And there's something here about when you work for something for a really, really, really long time, but like way too long, and then it arrives, but the amount of effort, like the ends aren't worth the means kind of vibe. There's a shift here. That shift is important. And that's why you're being encouraged to also kind of buckle down across the board right now, especially when it comes to metabolizing things in life. Because when this arrives, first of all, you do deserve it. You deserved it a very long time ago, and your solar plexus is validating that. Also receive that validation because it's a fact and it's not debatable. Also, your solar plexus is like, damn, group 2, like, seriously. But at the same time, when it arrives, that's not what you're focusing on. You're focusing on your growth. You're focusing on maybe getting your bag. You're focusing on hitting the gym. You're focusing on your 75 hard. You're focusing on training for that marathon. You're focusing on getting deeper in your meditation. You're focusing on you. You're not focused on that. And so when that comes in, yeah, obviously it's going to come in, right? You deserve it. You've deserved it for a long time. A little bit overdue. Okay, chop, chop. And it's, oh my God, not breadcrumbs. But when it arrives, it's not what you're focusing on. You're not like, oh my God, it finally feels so good to have this thirst satiated. Wait, water should be a basic human right. Oops, did I say that on YouTube? Anyway, there's this vibe here of that's not what you're focusing on when this comes in. So it allows you to metabolize this gratefully, aware that that is what you deserve. In fact, you still deserve a lot more than that. And also, it's not really the focus of what you have going on right now. Because where you're headed, your sights are set further than what this is. Significantly further than what this is. And so when you receive something that a past version of you, we're looking at what, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years for some of you, when you're looking at something like this, and then it arrives and you're like, oh, that would have been great if I had it when I needed it, or that would have been great if that happened 20 years ago, I don't know. That is the kind of vibe where you're not focused on it, so it comes in and you're like, oh, okay, cool. But I'm focused on getting my bag. I'm focused on glowing up. I'm focused on deepening my meditation. I'm focused on Spiritualistik's 21-day guided meditation retreat. I'm focused on implementing this new advanced spiritual practice that I've been working on. I'm focused on my 75 hard. I'm focused on my 30 minutes outside, 30 minutes exercise, 30 grams of protein in the morning, and taking my magnesium at night. That's what I'm focused on. I'm focused on clocking those 8 hours of sleep. That's what I'm focused on. So yeah, you get some flowers. They smell nice. You can smell them on your way to take your self-love spiritual bubble bath. Because it's not what you focused on. It's not the luxury of all luxuries, but it still arrives. And when it arrives, it knows that it's overdue. So your solar plexus wants to let you know that this energy is normal, that there's going to be a foundation here, but I'm getting that song Too Little Too Late by JoJo. Okay, so when it does arrive, it's going to arrive. There's going to be a foundation. It's going to build off of that, but also you're going to be kind of over it, but it is something that's natural for you to have. It's something that's natural for it to arrive and to continue to grow. So your focus isn't on it because you've already learned the lessons of the up, down, all around, the emotional roller coaster, whatever goes along with it. The am I worth it? Am I not worth it? Am I doing something wrong? Da-da-da-da-da-da, right? It's gone. You're focused on regeneration. You've already called your power back. You're no longer investigating, why is this not here? Why should this be here? What am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? Da-da-da-da-da-da. No, you're not. You're focused on, you're already in your power. You're standing 10 toes down. You're standing 10 toes down. So when someone gives you flowers, you're like, or acknowledges that you're standing 10 toes down, you don't need it because you know you did it on purpose. Flowers, wait, they smell nice. I also have $5. I can go get them for myself too, but thank you. I really, really appreciate that. please, next time, maybe buy me 24 instead of 12. Or, that's great, thank you. It's not arrogance, it's just standing 10 toes down. It's being organized, being on top of yourself, getting your bag, doing your glow up, whatever it is that you're focused on right now, showing up to Pilates, sculpt class, Legray, whatever it is. If you're doing Legray, you're better than me. Love you. Okay. And again, I'm getting too little too late, and also it's about time. I'm hearing it's about damn time, but I'm also getting too little too late. So there's kind of this conflicting energy here. So your solar plexus wants you to know to stay 10 toes down. This is a beautiful, abundant energy that's on its way for you, that's been hidden from you for a long time, because you deserve to be on the top shelf. And if the story goes the same way for you that it does for everybody else, then you don't end up on the top shelf. You end up, maybe in the middle? And that's not you. So, this transformation that you've been going through, that you are headed towards, and you feel like there are a lot of people that are they're smelling it on you, right? This energy that you're feeling, okay, take this, say, all right, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to make a plan. That is very productive. Maybe you've got 10 things to do, but if you sit down and you make a plan, those 10 things happen faster than they would first. So make sure that you prioritize that. Then you followed that plan. You stand 10 toes down, and then something comes in for you and you're like, what? Interesting timing. But that's not what I'm focused on. That is your message from your solar plexus. It's a difference in vibration here. You've let it go. Now in comes the new. And because you've broken out that pattern, well, you've got the results of that coming in, but you're no longer in that pattern. You're no longer focused on that pattern. Should I say 10 toes down one more time? You're saying it 10 toes down. Okay, that's it. Group number 2. This is your message from your solar plexus. I hope this helps shed love, light, and clarity for you. If you'd like to meditate with me, that is the first link in the description box below. If you would like a one-on-one with me, I've got those open. Currently, they're on my spiritual store. If you're interested in that, you can find candles, crystals, tarot and oracle decks that I've made, journals, books I've written, crystals I hand wrap, etc. All kinds of meditation cushions to match the meditation retreat, all kinds of stuff on there as well. That is where you're going to find my personal readings. I do channeling sessions, tarot, astrology, astrocartography, Reiki, and even personalized light codes. So that's on Etsy at Spiritualistik in the description box below. Spiritualistik is my handle, of course, here on YouTube. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It's like giving me a great big hug, and it's one of the best ways you can possibly support me if you cannot order a personal reading or subscribe to my Patreon or my members channel here on YouTube. Also, follow me over on Instagram or TikTok if you feel so inclined. It also is like a great big hug to me. YouTube is where I am, as you can probably tell, putting a lot of my love and effort towards right now, so it's the grass that I'm currently trying to water. So if you give me a little hug in this area, I would greatly appreciate it. And anyway, have an amazing day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful magical realm. I love you and I'm grateful for you. You can check out another pile or another reading, and I'll see you next time. Hi there, Group 3. Namaste, and welcome to your reading. Today I'm channeling a message to you from your solar plexus, and you selected the third group with the Lotus feet card. Group 3, the first thing that I'm getting here for you is that you are very devoted to your spiritual growth, your spiritual path, and your personal growth as well. Now, you might find that you feel maybe very humble in the face of this. I'm hearing someone say, not worthy. Like maybe you feel as though you have these beautiful levels of consciousness, these beautiful spiritual gifts, this beautiful connection with spirituality, with spirit, with the universe, and you might feel like, who am I to hold these gifts? Who am I to be speaking to the universe like this? Who am I to be trying to manifest what it is that I want? Who am I to be in such a position of spiritual authority? And that humbleness is exactly why, Group 3. I'm hearing the meek shall inherit the earth, okay? I'm also being shown here that you're meant to deal with what is in front of you, and you're being called to have more confidence and courage about how you face the things in front of you head on. Now, it doesn't just necessarily mean to be a battle. I'm being shown in the Bhagavad Gita in the beginning, okay, there is this guy, Arjuna, for those of you who aren't really familiar with that. He is on the battlefield, Well, he's meant to be on the battlefield. There is a war between different nations, but both of the nations are like ruled by his family. So his family is on the side that he's fighting, and his family is also on the side that they're meant to go to war against. And so he sits in meditation and connects with God, Krishna, universe, right? And he says, well, I don't want to fight. I don't want to go to war. This is my family. I would rather sit and meditate. Tell me what to do. It feels wrong. And the response he gets is, the right thing to do is to fulfill your duty, regardless of what that looks like, because there's a reason for it, spiritually and divinely. Now, it might not feel the best. There might be reasons why you might disagree, and that is okay. But the things that are occurring, the actions that are happening, what your specific duty is, it's important that you fulfill it. It is there intentionally. And so that was a surprising answer, because it would have been easier for Arjuna to go say, you know what, I'm going to sit this one out. I'm just going to go sit at the top of the hill and meditate. I'm going to sit this one out. I'm going to focus on connecting with the divine and expanding my spiritual gifts, or deepening my pranayama, or deepening my spiritual growth and connection. But upon sitting down to do that, he got the message, hey, what are you doing? You need to take care of what is your responsibility. And so your solar plexus, group number 3, wants to let you know that you've got a lot going on, but you're not the only one that is here working on it, okay? The thing is that you're placed in certain positions of spiritual authority. You are placed in maybe the ability to exercise certain spiritual gifts or access certain states of consciousness because you deserve it, and because you fulfill your duties lovingly and responsibly and humbly. The universe gave you these gifts because spiritually, over if this aligns with your spiritual practice, that's okay, and if not, that's okay too. Just take it as a vibe and energy. Across several different lifetimes, you have done the work to grow and evolve. Therefore, you have access to it in this lifetime. It's a blessing. Most do not. Because it's not just what you've done in this life, in this body. Also, you're not out here thinking that you are better than anybody or everybody else. Your solar plexus is letting you know that humbleness, not to be used as a coping mechanism. Who am I to show up and fight this war when that is the duty that is bestowed upon you, hypothetically speaking? But also, you have the duty still. That does not replace your duty to maybe meditate or grow spiritually or grow and evolve. So this is the crux of what your solar plexus wants to share with you today. This wants to stay at an angle. Okay, there's something here about seeing a different perspective that's going to shake things up a little bit for you with your solar plexus. Okay, because humbleness, I'm hearing humbleness as a coping mechanism again. Now, this humbleness, it is divine. You want to stay relatively humble, but not to the point where we can say humble and arrogant are two sides of the same coin. So you want that happy, healthy center in the middle, right? The sun shines and provides life. But it's not like, who, me? Like, whatever, but it's also not like, haha, I bestow upon you life. It's just doing its thing. It's literally just existing, and it's shining brightly and helps us live and survive, and we all revolve around it, but it's not like, haha, like you revolve around me, but it's also not like, who, me? Like, I'm not worthy, right? It's just the sun. It just is doing its thing. It's existing, right? And with that, there's a little bit of this vibe that's coming through as well, to understand that you're going to have a lot of things coming in for you materially, in the material realm, and it's going to be your responsibility and your duty to face them head on and to receive them. This is more about receiving than it is about facing. It's not about fighting a war, but it might bring, let's say, an ocean to calm within, pertaining to maybe receiving abundance, maybe holding on to a new relationship or a new friendship, maybe holding on to money, right? It's not like, oh, I'm not worthy to hold this gift. I'm not worthy to hold this money. I'm not worthy to hold this love. And so maybe you give it away. It touches your hand and you say, well, there are others who need it too. And so you pay it forward, which is beautiful. But then the gift that's given to you never really lands in your life. And so there's like this internal ocean that you're being called to calm here. I'm hearing the song Two Oceans by Trevor Hall. Okay. there is something that you are being called to kind of build upon in your solar plexus energy here. You're being encouraged to take your confidence and take your courage and kind of ground it. So take something that you are receiving and maybe invest in it or water it, allow it to grow, okay? Or at least, at the very least, like hold on to it, let it be seen and known by others. So that it's weird, it's not weird, it's normal. Because it's going to be a part of your spiritual growth and also part of the growth of your confidence, your sense of self. It helps you grow into this next version of you that you are becoming and evolving into. The version of you that you have already accepted the responsibility of the spiritual gifts, or you've accepted the responsibility of whatever it is. Now, I'm not saying that you have been neglecting your responsibility or shucking it off, but it's a little bit of this, well, yes, but maybe I'm not worthy. Yes, but who am I to experience this? Or who am I to receive this? Or there's some sort of a maybe mental construct or some sort of a spiritual belief here that is being shaken up. And it can be something like, those who blank don't do blank, right? Something that is associated that's going to get shaken up here. And it's about what you can receive, maybe what you're allowed to receive, or what is an integrity for you to receive. What is in integrity for you to have and to hold. And so there's like this bravery and this confidence that's coming through your solar plexus that's saying it is also your responsibility to gratefully receive the blessings the universe is giving you. And to you, it might feel like maybe fighting a war against your family, and it might look like, just like it did for Arshana, and it's not looking like you showing up fully armed. It might be something like being the first person in your family to graduate from university. It might be something like being the first person in your family who's not following that religion. It might also be something like being the first person in your family who's like, yeah, I'm abundant, or who is rich, wealthy, abundant. It might be the first person in your family who doesn't share that limiting belief, or who dresses a certain way, or who loves a certain kind of person, or something like this. And so it's part of your growth and your development. And it is your responsibility to both have, to receive, to have, to hold, to keep, and to build upon the things that are coming in for you. And in some way, it's going to feel maybe somewhat in conflict with what it is that you were taught. I'm hearing religious trauma for some of you. It can also be an ancestral thing that you're breaking here for those of you who resonate with that as well. Because there's this spark that is igniting in your solar plexus, and it might feel good to embrace it. But as you do, you might ask, am I overindulging my ego? As it does, you might feel, well, it's fire. We want to maybe contain a fire, which in some cases are true, but not this one. It might feel a little bit like, what if I'm shining too bright and everybody can see, like the sun? But the sun provides life to everyone, and it does not even consider whether we are thinking positively or negatively about it. The sun doesn't care how we think about it. The sun does its job. And there's a similar energy that's here for you that you're being encouraged to embrace. Notice that we have the moon. It's in stark contrast with that sun energy. It's this dampening. Some of you who are interested in Chinese medicine, or if you've been feeling a little off lately, take a look at dampness in your system. Cold and dampness. Some of you might be having a little bit of that going on, okay? Because we have, with the Seven of Cups and the moon, we have specifically this cold, this dampness, this looking at other options, other angles, other ways to look at what's going on here, about how you can say, well, it's not for me, it's for others. I have this gift, but it wasn't given to me for me, it was given to me for others. That's what your solar plexus wants to address and say, hey, this gift was given to you because it's yours. Whether it's spirituality, whether it's gifts and visions, whether it's consciousness, whether it's technology, whether it's abundance, whether it's physical material stuff, whether it's love, mind, body, spirit, romantic, platonic, familial, anything. It's given to you because you're the receiver of it. I don't give you a gift, group number 3, for your birthday because I love and appreciate and value you. I don't give you a gift so that you can give it to someone else. I give it to you because there was love and intention and thought and sincerity behind it. And I wanted to gift that to you because I wanted you to have it and I wanted you to feel my love for you. I'm hearing someone go, oh, shucks. And so, allow the universe to make you blush. That fire, that spark, that heat, when it rises, as it does in our system alchemically, just like it does in real life, right, out on the outside, when that heat rises, it's not too much fire to the point where it creates issues, but it might make your heart race a little bit. It might make your cheeks blush. And that is a different kind of response to that fire, because if you have this cold, damp environment and all of a sudden this dry heat comes and it rises through your system and it makes you feel alive again, but you push it down because who am I? I'm not worthy for that. Who am I to experience that? Oh, it's really beautiful, but that's not the point. Yes, I know I've been given this gift, but really it's for them because they deserve it and it's not about me. That is a beautiful sentiment. You are in service, which is a beautiful thing to do, a beautiful thing to become. But there's also a certain point where your solar plexus wants you to know, Group 3, that it's your responsibility, not just to give it away, but to be and embody it. Not just to, know it, but like to know it. Stand in it, embody it. It's the sun. And it's that. Your solar plexus wants you to understand that relying on self isn't too much of a good thing or too much of a bad thing. But relying on yourself and giving everything away while being guarded towards receiving from outside of you is not the gift that keeps on giving, but the drain that keeps on draining. When the universe is trying so hard to give you a gift that will continue to keep giving. And so, when you begin to feel the flutters, the butterflies, the blushing in your cheeks, or an energetic alchemical equivalent to that, please understand. And I'm sure that you have heard this before, Group 3. You know when they say when you meet someone and you get the butterflies, that's not your person because you should feel at home with them? Yes. But you also know, Group 3, that if what home feels like for you isn't something beautiful and nice and safe, and your nervous system is being shown something that is healthy after you've already regulated and rewired, now you're being shown something new. Well, that might give you the butterflies, and it might make your heart beat, and it might make you blush, and it might make you excited, and you might try to disown that feeling because it is not where you had originally regulated calmness with. But this is meant to be a spark. It's meant to be exciting. It's meant to be spiritual, and it's meant to be yours. It's meant to be abundant. It's meant to be grand. I'm hearing this song nowadays from the musical Chicago. So some of you, that might be resonant for some of you. There's this vibe. I'm getting that this might be a distorted, example of the opposite of the energy you're in. And I'm also getting that if you listen to that song, or you kind of sit with the lyrics a little bit, I haven't listened to it for a very long time, so I don't really have it running on a track in my mind, so I'm not super familiar, but I'm kind of getting the vibe here that the song might be something that in the context of the musical you look at and you go, oh, how ridiculous. But if you remove the context and you allow it to maybe integrate a little bit, or you allow it to kind of sit with your solar plexus a bit, it might show you a new blueprint that is healthy for you by swinging the pendulum the other way. Not so much so, but if you're putting your weight on your right foot a little bit and you don't know it and it just feels like you're standing up straight for you, when someone shows you to lean into your left foot a little bit more, you're going to feel like it's a little over-exaggerated. But when they demonstrate for you, this is the thing, when they demonstrate for you, now you're looking like this. They're going to lean to the right a little bit more so that you can physically see it. That doesn't mean that's how much you're leaning over. Okay? And when they say, so what I need you to do is go like this, and they're going to exaggerate coming back to center so that you can see it and apply it, because it's going to feel a little bit unnatural. Because by exaggerating it a smidge, you can really see it. And the universe can mirror things like us can mirror things to us in this way sometimes as well. So I'm kind of getting that exaggerated mirror kind of vibe. So Chicago the Musical might have signs and synchronicities in it for some of you, okay? But it might be that exaggeration of the opposite of what you are, or what you fear becoming, or what you associate that being the sun, being the star, right? If you're familiar with that plot line, it kind of makes sense in that way. But at the same time, if you remove the context and you just listen to that, it's most likely maybe a bit exaggerated, a bit distorted, but it's closer to that pure center than like, oh, who, me? No, I couldn't possibly. And so a bit of what might feel a little bit grand, a little bit grandiose, might just be what pops you right into the center there. And I was not saying for you to, become this, this vibe of grandeur, but it is saying, though, to put your foot into self-love a little bit more and let that spark kind of ignite. Some of you might feel, this is really specific, but some of you might feel a physical discomfort with experiencing adrenaline. And if that is for you, that might be something that energetically is connected to this. Because if you are in fight or flight, or if you've been in fight or flight or survival mode, or if you have anxiety or you're nervous or something like this, even if you don't currently hold that any longer, some of you might, it's very normal. Even if you aren't holding that any longer, still maybe a little bit of adrenaline, maybe even waking up in the morning, because that's literally due to a spike of cortisol in your body. It might be extraordinarily uncomfortable for you, even though it's normal, technically. So it's a little bit of that, maybe lean into the butterflies a little bit. Not from the navel up. Lean into the cheek blushing a little bit. Lean into the pitter-patters in the heart space a little bit. There's this spark that's occurring, and you're being encouraged to receive it and to hold it, and it might feel a little bit nervous energy for you. But it's less about whether that's right or wrong, and a little bit more about what you are labeling it as. Who, me? Yes, you. Well, me, I couldn't possibly, but you absolutely can, and it's your duty. And it might ask you to very, very gently, I say, fight a little war, like that example I gave in the very beginning. But the secret here is that war might look like you coming into your abundance. That war might look like you falling in love deeply, grandly. That war might look like your self-love journey deepening, expanding, or even beginning for some of you. Your spiritual gift. And so your solar plexus kind of wants you to be in that energy of the sun. And I'm also being shown Buddy the Elf from the movie Elf. The part where he goes, I'm in love, and I don't care who knows it. Which is quite silly, right? But if you take that and you apply it to your solar plexus, I'm me, and I don't care who knows it. Maybe it's a little silly, right? But if we peel that back, Group 3, if you're in the energy of I am me and I don't care who knows it, it's not really that silly, is it? So that's the message from your solar plexus here. We have one more. Okay, so I'm gonna pull it for you as well. 32. Someone, it's not 23, it's 32. And either way, it's a 5. It's a change. It could be a challenge or an obstacle, but it could be a positive shift. It's the difference between an obstacle in your path or expressing yourself. For some of you, your challenge and your opportunity has to do with expressing yourself in a way that is moving forward and not backwards. It's the glitch of your own matrix, of the way that you are used to expressing, maybe choosing new words. learning words for some of those, you know how some of those emotions that we don't usually express, maybe speaking using different words or speaking in a different way, or allowing yourself to be not constantly backtracking. No, it's okay that I'm holding this abundance because you didn't see like the 50 years of my life where I was absolutely going through it and it was totally crap, and you would just not, like, just trust me, the bad is way worse than the good here. So it's like, you know, I have this, but like really I should just give it away immediately, but like it is kind of cool that I have it right now. Like that kind of needing to justify why you are just existing in abundance and having a good day and smiling and giving love to yourself. Challenge and your opportunity. I'm in love, and I don't care who knows it. You're in love with you. You're in love with life. You're in love with the duty that you have, and it might feel a little bit like going to war with what it is that you were taught to be. And again, that's where I'm getting, it's 32, it's not 23. You also have the number 19 coming out here at the end of your reading, which is the sun. But notice that it dared not rear its beautiful head, rather we had the moon that came out. I'm being shown that old trend that was like, I thought I was the moon, but I realized I'm the sun. So, group 3, that's your message from your solar plexus. If you would like a personal with me, you can find those on Etsy at Spiritualistik. I've got a whole spiritual store there where you can find my tarot and oracle decks, my personalized light codes. I give astrology readings, astrocartography, channeling sessions, tarot readings, and personalized light codes as well. I've got a guided journal, if you're interested. It's my guided self-exploration journal. I also have dream journal, intention journal, manifestation journal, okay? As well as crystals. I hand wrap, charged to 528 hertz, as well as intention candles, if you're interested in that as well. You'll find all of my personals there on Etsy. Again, the handle is Spiritualistik, just like it is here. Please subscribe, like, and comment. It means the world to me. Share this video with someone who you think would appreciate it. And with that being said, you can also find me on Patreon. I've got a members only channel here on YouTube, so don't be shy. You can subscribe to that as well. Patreon is where you're going to find a lot more of the tactical advice, kind of pick a cards, and more of the channeling sessions, the channeling messages. Those are going to be on YouTube members channel as well. You can also find me on TikTok. That's where most of you know me from. So if you're not already on the TikTok fam, definitely go join over there, because that's where I am showing up the most often. That's where my love is, but I'm trying to water the YouTube garden a little more these days. And also on Instagram too. I'm kind of finding my vibe, what it's like over there, and how I'm expressing myself over there, because we like to find different ways to express ourselves, right? So that's the journey that I'm on currently. So it would mean a lot if you would join me for the journey, if it resonates with you. As always, I love you and I'm grateful for you. Please have an amazing day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful magical realm. You deserve the entire world and all that it has to offer, and so much more as well. Feel free to check out another pile or another reading, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.